Welcome to this video, and today I want to talk about if World of Tanks Blitz is dying, and if yes, then how is it dying? So, first of all, there is a very important clarification to make here. For me, there is three crucial points to every single game out there, and that's the three C's. That is content, community, and competition. Now, let's go through these three, and let's say if at least two of them are good, the game is most likely not going to die. However, if none of them are good, it is very much in the progress of dying. So, let's start off with the first one, and probably the easiest one, that is the competition, which is tournaments and esports and stuff like that. Yes, there is a tournament section in the game, there is tournaments regularly, however, they're around at the same time, and they're not really that interesting. And if you look at, for example, this one, the rewards are rather bad. So there's no point in even playing them, because even if you win one of these tournaments, you get less than what you would have gotten if you would have just grinded credits outside of them. So there's no point in playing them at all. Then, another big point is, I mean, it's a mobile game, but yes, PC players are excluded from the more competitive aspect, which is a joke. Like, why? They should at least make a separate tournament division for PC players so that they can get some prize money as well, and Twister Cups and stuff like that. Which is another point, Twister Cups, you know, the money there is an absolute joke compared to how much you have to prepare, how much you have to put into the game and learn as a team to go off with like 500. Like, that's a joke. That is an absolute joke. Mainly because, first of all, there is not a real interest in esports. There's not a single organization involved. They don't have any big sponsors or anything like that. All the Twister Cup streams have an average viewership of like 3,000, which is roughly the same as a mid-card CSGO match, and those 3,000 viewer numbers are only achieved because of giveaways during those streams. So, yeah, basically the competition part of World of Tanks Blitz is completely dead. There is nothing there to make it really interesting, out of my view, obviously, because this video is my opinion. If you disagree, put it in the comments, but be respectful, alright? Now, let's move on to number 2, the second C, which is community. This also strongly goes together with content, so you can't really separate these two, because obviously, if content doesn't regulate community, community will be shit. So, content is because it's like the overall game developer and what they're doing with the game. Now, the community of this game is, in big parts, absolutely dog shit. That's just how you have to say it. Obviously, there's a lot of great people out there, there's a lot of amazing players, which, you know, you can't just fault them for being in this game, but there is a massive, massive amount of absolute morons. You can't say it any way. They're just morons. You know, they're being toxic in chat, they're insulting people. Well, they're not even good at the game. Now, there is a difference between being a toxic asshole and being correct. Don't forget that. Just don't be toxic. If you yourself believe that someone's playing bad, just whatever. You're not gonna change that person's behavior by telling them that they suck. Just keep it to yourself, pretty much. So, yeah, there's a lot of also racism is a thing, but, you know, that's... I mean, like, yeah, these people are just idiots. That's all I have to say to that. So, yeah. The community is not really good. In terms of skill, they're not very good either, obviously, also. Because of a very, very big problem that Wargaming has provided in this game, which is mainly update 5.5, and the lack of a good tutorial system. I mean, they're gonna make a new one soon, but it doesn't fucking matter. They're too late. Too fucking late. All these people are already in the game. They're already there. They're already ruining games because they have no clue what they're doing. Either because they don't care or because they're just like that dumb. Now, obviously, the main objective of any game is to have fun. However, if you're actively ruining someone else's fun, then you're to be removed. That's how it works. However, Wargaming does not do that. They don't ban people a lot. If they do, it's mostly very mild bans for even stuff like the N-word or whatever, something like that. So Wargaming obviously doesn't want to hurt their bottom line, because they don't want to have the game bleed more players, even though it is the type of players that we would really like to see removed from this game. Now, that's the community side. It's not the best, but there are worse. So that's what I have to say about that. You can turn the in-game chat off, so you don't really have to deal with that if you don't want to. So there is options in place there. However, then the last thing, that is the content of the game, and that is where the biggest problem comes in. So far we have competition basically non-existent. Community, half a point. So we get half a point out of 2 so far. Which means that you gotta keep it up with the content, right? Because if a game has an amazing content, then it doesn't really matter what happens otherwise. However, there again, Wargaming is the one letting everyone down. Sure, there are updates every month, which is something that is very nice. You know, there's this sort of new content every month, even though it's not new tanks, it's rebalancing, it's all sorts of things that come to the game, like the new tutorial system, which, I mean, nice, but way too fucking late, anyway. So you have that content side of the game, and yeah, A100. The matchmaking isn't the best, obviously, because of all the bad players. There is not a lot of good in the matchmaker, I'd say, because there's no sort of filter, and there's no competitive matchmaking either. Because raiding battles isn't like Counter-Strike competitive, where people are matched by their approximate skill level. In raiding, you can just play for 500 hours, and you'll have the same rating as a player that's very, very skilled at the game, but has only maybe spent 20 hours. So rating points and rating essentially does not have any value whatsoever, and it is a very, very flawed game mode. So you don't have that either. So you have all the good old sort of better part of the community, you know, the older player, the experienced players, those that are even willing to help new players. You have those up against a flood of new casuals that are just in the game, and yeah, that mostly just suck. Because, yeah, if you're running around at 40% win rate, like, just get the fuck out, honestly. Just get the fuck out. Or, at least, do your best to improve. That's very important. If you're willing to improve, that's fine. If you're not, get the fuck out. That's how it goes. Now, last side of the content side is obviously all the new tanks, all that type of stuff coming to the game, and also Wargaming making money. That is the biggest problem with the game, and that is the biggest reason why it is going to die eventually. It is in the process of dying. That is, in my opinion, a 100% correct statement. It's not dead, it's merely in the process of dying. Stage 1 cancer, pretty much. Anyway, the thing is, right now, what they're testing is they're testing one American tech tree line, which has one T10 tank, which, you know, is quite nice. However, what they're having right now is 3 T10 premium tanks, the Object 97, the Object 260, and the KPZ-50T, which means that they're way more focused on making money. Now, this is a mobile game, so obviously they're gonna be greedy scums anyway. That is basically already set. Now, if you remember, a long time ago, with the new equipment when it was introduced, I think it was 3.8, I believe, these consumables had timers, so that when you bought one of these levels, you had to wait for the timer, then you can use it, then you can unlock the next one, which took about, I think, 21 days to equip a T10 tank fully with all 9, which, you know, is a complete shit. It lasted about 1 year, together with the spare parts and other currency for the equipment, but then it was removed again, obviously due to pressure from the community, because that's the only thing that Wargaming cares about. If people start leaving, they're gonna make adjustments. For example, about the Sheridan missile, a lot of people complained, a lot of people hated it, a lot of people also left the game, so they had to do something about it, because they lost revenue, and that's the only thing that Wargaming essentially cares about. That is revenue. You know, obviously you can say that every game developer only cares about money, but there are some that also care about the game itself as well, rather than just making money. But if you look at Wargaming, look at this. Offers, 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 all the time. This right here is a thing called fear of missing out, you know? It's discounted, remaining one, hot, whatever. You might be going for this even though you're currently thinking of throwing away pretty much 35 euros for crates that have a very low chance of even having a tank, you know? So, yeah, Wargaming is doing this a lot with the fear of missing out, you know, like these special bundles and this stuff like here, you know? Like, they're just shoving offers down your throat. For example, on a recent stream, in 2 hours, I had 4 offers for legendary camouflages. 4 offers for legendary camouflage. And mind you, one of these camos is about 10 euros for a camouflage for a tank, which is a fucking joke. So, in the end, let's sum it up again. We have no competition whatsoever, basically, because of the lack of a proper tournament system, because of the lack of proper rewards, because of the lack of organizations and tournament organizers as well. We don't have a competitive matchmaking in the game. Rating is a joke, so therefore competition is basically 0 out of 1. Then community, you know, we have the older players, the better players that are still in the game, and we also have new players that are coming over and starting to play very good and behaving very good. So I can't really give it something there, because then again Wargaming has aided the bad players. So I'm gonna give it half a point for community, because I want to reward the good people that are still left in the community of WoT Blitz. And then obviously on the content side, it is a 0. An absolute blatant 0, because sure, there's updates every month, but the blatant greed that Wargaming is displaying these days, you know, with offers all the time, shoving it down your throat, it is absolutely fucking disgusting. You know, because if you buy this bundle, you can basically get a tier 10 for free, otherwise you would have to spend about a week grinding it. Yeah, like, bruh, no. Just, this is bullshit, okay? It is a mobile game that is designed to drag as much money out of you as possible. And that's the only thing that is at this point. So yeah, with that, 0.5 out of 3 points, it is going to die. And I will be a part of that. Don't worry, I'm not going to stop making Blitz videos. But just to bring this to your attention, hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed it. If you agree, then like the video. If you disagree, put it in the comment section. And yeah, see you for the next one after about 50,000 shorts. But yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.